Three, two, one. About to hit this record button. And yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. WrestleMania. Once again, WrestleMania 39. Los Angeles, Hollywood, goes Hollywood. However you want to look at this. In this very long weekend of wrestling. Because when it comes to WrestleMania weekend, it's basically a giant spectacle with 100 different wrestling shows having events going on. This WrestleMania is probably maybe the fourth, maybe fifth show I've watched this weekend until later tonight. But with so much wrestling going on this weekend, we finally make it to WrestleMania, folks. Hollywood, LA, damn near a daytime show out there because it's the West Coast. So over here they're like 2 hours back. So in a way, even with NXT yesterday, that shit started at 10 a.m. at the Staples Center. But yes, WrestleMania, we're here, we're back at it live. 2 nights, night one. Let's do this thing. But first, let my co-hosts introduce themselves. Go right ahead.
Black Shaggy in the building. DAR Elite. Let's get it.
All right. Yep. Man, 40 cal. Back in it. Let's go.
All right then. But yes, WrestleMania, we kicking it off right off the bat. The stage, gotta say one thing about that real fast. Great looking
Fire.
stage.
So fire.
I liked
Oh
it.
man, that
Almost looked like an
stage
Oscar
was
stage.
my goodness. That stage was good. I was like, huh. I like that.
It was a long ramp.
I mean, I told my cousin yesterday I thought it was pretty short compared to all the other ones. Do we remember the WrestleMania 33? Sure.
Mm.
We
This was
remember
a better
that?
looking stage though. It really was, because this is probably one of the better creative stage they came up with this year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because of like the Oscars and like all the movie posters and stuff. So that was good. Like I said, SoFi Stadium, Inglewood. I know they started off with Becky G to sing America the Beautiful. And then they went to a cold open video package with Kevin Hart, basically going over tonight. But we did kick off the show with the host of WrestleMania, The Miz and Snoop Dogg.
I must have got in a little later then, cause I got in with I think the match already started, so I guess I ain't get to see them.
I thought
Yeah,
everything
because
involving the Miz was lame on this show.
I mean, man, everything
it's The
involved in the Miz
Miz.
is lame. I really
Period,
never
right? I got you.
I don't even remember a cool thing that involved the Miz. Probably outside that little Intercontinental title run that he had back in 2016. But other than that, boy, everything been lame.
Honestly,
I can't even disagree with you,
the
bro.
only time I really liked him was when I think when he it's crazy he did main event WrestleMania, but when he had that video package with Nas Hate Me Now, that was actually kind of cold at the time.
Yeah, but that's
So
got nothing to do with him. That's production.
And because
that's production.
production, right? You give production a hand for
Yeah,
making
yeah.
him look cool.
What about when he teamed with Truth?
No, that was lame. That was
It was
all. Man, I've been reminded of that run. I mean, of that run. So, I don't know. Lately, people been talking about it, and I'm like, that run. That was dumb.
I remember them rapping, coming to the ring half the time, and then
I'll
trying to
give
beat
you
up every.
him and Morrison's first run when they were on ECW doing the with the dirt sheet. Is that what they called it?
That
I'll give you
that was
that one.
funny.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
That was
Yeah.
what 20 years ago. Like,
That was hilarious though.
like, come
But
on
yeah,
now.
the
Yeah.
Miz ever
But
since it's
what they
like,
were doing, what him and Snoop Dogg were doing, like what they
oh,
was.
just welcome everybody to the show. And
Oh,
because I know they gave Snoop a title, this ain't the only time you're gonna see Snoop throughout the night. Also,
I saw.
they was
Wait,
just
I remember the later on, but I
they,
ain't. I told you I must have did see that part.
but they
You ain't missed
welcome.
nothing. It was
Yeah, you ain't
lame.
missed nothing. But they
Oh,
just
okay.
welcome to the show. But we
Oh,
did have Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary throughout the whole night as
all
we
right.
kicked off the show with Austin Theory versus John Cena for the United States Championship. Uh, John Cena, I know he did have a special entrance because it was basically, what did they say? He's made 600 Make-A-Wishes, and I know he came out with like some Make-A-Wish kids and whatnot. And even his new shirt looked like, you know, the G.I. Joe logo type of thing out there. So I thought the shirt was pretty cool. But
Yeah.
but yeah, they did kick off the show though with Theory and Cena. Honestly, because you know, one thing they did say that's kind of note. The last time Cena kicked off WrestleMania was WrestleMania 20 when he
20. Yeah, I remember that
when
one.
he beat Big Show for the U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was basically, you know, basically hello out here moment. Like, here you go. That's gonna be your next star, people. And what happened? That was our next star. So I remember
But
that one.
going into this match, honestly, I thought it was very paint by numbers. I don't know. It just kind of felt. Some would say any Cena match you probably seen in the past and whatnot.
That's
Like
I
I'm not
exactly
mean,
what
saying
I
the
I
match.
said.
agree with.
When we
I
were
I'm
agree
not
talking
with
saying
you
it
about it,
sucked.
then.
when we were talking about it, I said this could have been a John Cena match from 2006 to 2013, bro. Like,
Yeah, I told him. I see, but I was agreeing with him with that one. But it was how Bryce, when me and him were talking about this, how Bryce put it. I could have seen that on Raw. Like, hold on, time out. I give y'all the paint by numbers
Or
match
a lower
because
grade pay per
I
view.
wasn't. Wait, but I'll give you a B pay-per-view. I would not see that type of match, which nowadays anyway, I would not see that type of match or any time on Raw because it's I don't know. It's just kind. It's not John. I mean, John Cena is at one of those at that level where I I don't I don't expect a lot from him, and I don't expect him to do a lot. I mean, repeating myself. Sorry about that, but I always expect him to do a lot because I know the position that he in. He basically is the Rock back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When we got the Rock, we didn't get the Rock back in 2001. We got the Rock like this a movie star. The nigga he ain't trying to hurt himself. He got millions of dollars on the table. So I kind of figured that I wasn't going to get a lot from John Cena and Theory, especially Theory. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting a lot from him anyway, and I really not expecting a lot, really. I
yeah, I'm
don't know what
gonna
to say
make a
about that. Daddy.
comparison here because Cena right now is in the Sting part of his career where he just
Yeah,
shows up to play the hits. But the difference
yeah,
is Sting
Yeah.
is playing the hits while like five other niggas are doing crazy stuff around him.
around them. So it's
While
like,
Cena is just he's spotlighted one on one, and all he's going to do is play the hits in one on
hit
one matches. So it just comes off so rudimentary.
mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best part of this was Cena's entrance, and I was like, whatever, man.
And you know they protected Cena here. Like I said, it was a heel finish, and you know
Why they
just
even do that?
because
I mean,
some felt like he was like
here's the
Theory was gonna have
thing.
a star making performance out there or something. This was just him being
You
best
not,
heel.
but nobody. What I told you when we was texting yesterday was nobody thought this was going to be a star making performance, especially after that promo. After that promo, it was done. This match was done before it even started. So it's like whatever he did out there, win, lose, draw, it didn't matter because he is still at the same position as Austin Theory is always going to be at.
Yeah, that's exactly my biggest problem with it is it essentially meant nothing because he cheated to beat Cena, right? And he didn't kick out of any big moves or anything. We
Yeah.
Right,
One
Nothing with
right.
finisher.
Austin Theory is
Like,
finna be different on Raw if this match never happened in the first place. Like,
Yes,
because
but I ain't gonna lie to you though, Steven. I thought that before the match started, and it was nothing that he could have had a Rhea Ripley Charlotte match. We gonna get to that, but he could have had that type of match, and I still would have been here and still thinking to myself like, well, I still don't see anything coming from this, you know?
yeah, because even like this match, like in a way, you used to seeing Cena kick out of like what maybe 3, 4 finishers or something. Like he just went down with one finish, and that was kind of it. And you go back to that promo, it's like Kyle said, like it's like, hey, if you beat me, you won the battle for the day. But is it really gonna help you in the long run? Or if I
He
beat you,
said
you
it.
still lose. You still got to come out here the next night. Like I could just do whatever I want basically at this point. Like seeing like yeah, win or lose, you still lose. So even I was like, then what the hell's the point of this match? Even
And
that
see that
empty,
too.
yeah, and even that empty arena promo Theory did like last Monday. It was like you waited 3 weeks to finally say something back.
And
Like,
see there we go. It's like if you take that promo away, I probably can get behind you because I just don't see the boy as this guy. You know, you got a lot of people online that says a lot of people people with podcasts and says that he's got potential and everything, and I just don't see it. It's their right to see it, and then not me to see it. It's opinion, but I just
Right.
don't see it, and it's nothing they could have done to make me see it. And I was already at that position already. I was already like, man, look, win, lose, draw. This match already done. That promo killed them a long time ago. I don't even know why we. I don't know why we allowed that promo to happen anyway. To be honest with you, that I would
because
not have. I would have not allowed Cena. Real talk. I would have talked to Cena. I would have already talked to Cena. You are not about to do your usual out there. You are not about to rip this nigga apart. All right. What we going to do is you going to accept the match, and you're not going to rip him apart. You could do something to make him feel small, but you ain't about to rip him apart out there like you did Roman, or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not about to allow you to do that.
And it wasn't even about the championship. Like that's
Yeah,
when
we
him
got.
and Roman were having their second feud, I had told Bryce the same problem. It's like it seemed like it was just them doing a one-upsmanship thing, but not even about the championship.
Yeah.
Why are y'all having this US title match if it's not really about the champ? Like Cena's going in on him about being trash and this or that, and theories like how you're bald. So I'm like, okay, but what about the title, bro? Like,
yeah,
Man,
what
the
why do
about
you
title
want
don't
this
mean
title, bro?
nothing.
and then again, I was kind of like, why is Cena facing for a mid card title that we know he's not gonna be here every week with it and whatnot? So it's like, what is the point of putting this belt on the line, like literally? Because I like you just had Cena murder this dude on the mic, and even Theory. I gotta say, I know it's been iffy how you feel about him, but right now he just looks like a generic mid card heel with a beard right now, without
Because he
that much
is.
of a gimmick. Because I say what you want about the selfie thing and with Vince and whatnot, yeah, it was bad, but at least he had a gimmick that was kind of doing something. Right now, he's just a generic mid card heel, and it's been up and down with his push. Don't get me wrong, he really shouldn't have had that Money in the Bank thing to begin with, but at the same time, the way that they had him lose the Money in the Bank was fucking ridiculous and
Yeah,
really.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, most definitely, I agree with you
And
on
I feel
that.
like
Right?
they saved face by like, okay, we'll give you back the U.S. title like 2-3 weeks later. Then what was the point of that Money in the Bank bull crap then, huh? Just to give him right back the belt and stuff. It doesn't make sense. And where Theory goes on from this, yeah, they'll probably have him come out every week on Raw and say, I beat John Cena. I beat him in like the most generic fashion and whatnot. That, like I said, it's probably the weakest match on the show I felt in general. And the only reason I feel like this even
I
kicked off the show was we know Cena has a very busy movie schedule and whatnot. So it's like he got to get in, he got to get out.
I'll
I
say it's the
wanted to say
second
something
weakest
too.
on the show.
Hey, I wanted to say something too because I was like, hey, man, I was talking to my cousin, and I was like, I like how they mapped it out, and how they mapped night one out. Yeah, get all the mundane, all the little matches that really is like whatever matches, because John Cena and Theory were one of that Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship. I mean, not Tag Team Championship, but that Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with Braun and Ricochet, all that stuff. I think that was next, wasn't it? And
Yes, the
after the
fatal.
yeah, and like just throw that away. And actually, that match was kind of decent. When we get
Yeah,
to it,
no, I was gonna
I,
say, yeah, let's move on to the fatal four way. I didn't mean to cut you off,
I
but
that
yeah.
was actually kind of decent. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't expecting much from it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting, you know, something that really happens. But so I went into this match thinking like, all right, cool. They gave me some of my favorites. I messed with the Street Profit. I messed with the Viking Raiders. I messed with Ricochet. and I mess with Chad Gable. So hey, as long as they give me all they greatest hits, which they did the big man move. I mean, the Chad Gable picking up the big man move. They give me that spot all the time. You know, I didn't mind that match. It was one of those matches like, hey, okay, I know what y'all trying to do, give everybody a payday. I
And
understand that, but
I, I thought it was a fun and chaotic match. It didn't really mean much and whatnot because it's
no,
not like it was
Didn't
for
mean
a shot
anything.
at the tag titles. It just looked like let's get everybody on the card, and we got Titus O'Neil on commentary, which they brought in. But it was almost like, okay, everybody gets their chance to shine in this match, and that's basically what it was. So it was just a fun and chaotic match. It didn't mean much, but you see the crowd enjoyed it. I liked it. I did like when Dawkins took out Strowman
Oh
doing
my
his run
gosh.
around train thing.
Man hitting
That was
Strowman
pretty
with the
cool.
pounce, bro. I popped.
That was good. What Gable hitting the Chaos Theory suplex onto Strowman also. That was really good also.
That
Yeah,
one
it was
bit where everybody kept going to the top rope and kept getting knocked off for Braun to be the one to do the big top rope move. Like I thought they
dive.
were cooking in this jump, bro.
The Tower
yeah,
of Doom spot. They
yeah,
did that. It was a lot of good stuff, and even going into the end, like Ricochet went for the shooting star, but Dawkins caught him, and then Ford did his big frog splash, and that's how they won the match from there, pinning Ricochet. So, like I said, it was a fun, chaotic match. Crowd loved it. It didn't really mean much, but it got the crowd popping up a little and whatnot from the last match that just happened because this is what I feel like the crowd fired up even more. I'm not saying like the only reason why they were fired up in the first match because they were just happy to see Cena, but the second one they enjoyed the action and whatnot. So good stuff.
Yeah, after Cena and Theory, I thought the show pretty much was on a great high. I mean, excluding the whole Pat McAfee thing, take that out. Other than that, after the Cena match, I thought the whole show was great,
yeah.
start to finish.
After
Oh
that,
yeah,
right? It started to take off after that. It started to take off. It
De-
just took off straight after that.
definitely took off from there because what else was next? We had an up down down segment, but then we moved into
I missed
Logan
that
Paul.
segment too.
Yeah, it was just Woods and some of the roster like simulating the game for 2K 2023 with the next match, which was
Well, hold up. Can I get
go
on
ahead.
that for a second though?
Go ahead.
That segment was cool, right? That was fine. But before I even turned this show on, I was watching Stand and Deliver, and after it was over, I saw at the bottom, right? Because I'm an hour ahead of y'all, right? So I saw at the bottom Peacock was saying WrestleMania from 6 to 11, right? Because they had a 2 hour pre-show, 6 to 11. So I'm thinking, wait, WrestleMania is going to end at 11? That's crazy. Which would be what 10 y'all time. So I'm
Yeah,
geeking, thinking WrestleMania about to be a 3 hour long pay per view, 8 to 11, right? Then I'm watching the show, and they start just placing in all these little mundane segments that mean nothing to this show to stretch it out to be 4 hours long, knowing
right.
full well they only had a 3 hour show. What 7 matches on this show, but we got 4 hours long.
And they
Like
were stretching. They were stretching.
fam. By the time Rhea and Charlotte ended, I'm like, all right, main event, let's go. Then Miz and Snoop Dogg come back out, and I'm like, whoa, whoa,
Wow, we
what's
They
got
were
going
this
just
on
right.
here? They
they were
do
just
that
trying to
whole bit, right?
eat up time.
Pat
I
McAfee,
mean, ate up time.
George Kittle, bro. Then Lil Uzi comes out for his bit. I'm like, what is happening, bro? This show was supposed to
I
go off
was
at
like,
11.
I was like, what is this? What is all? I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, see, but bro, I was sitting here just thinking, like, my goodness, yo, are we just trashing time for no apparent reason? We could have just had a 3 hour spectacular. That's all we could have had, and we could have still been talking about it till this day. If you take away the celebrity involvement and all of that, and the little but they segment, you had a 3 hour spectacular with a lot of great matches. Like why you couldn't just go off with that merit? But it's WrestleMania. You gotta have the celebrity involvement. That's that Cyndi Lauper effect from the '80s. We gotta have a celebrity involvement now because of that.
And
It was
speaking
like,
of oh, you want to say something real quick, Steven?
oh, go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, because I said I was gonna say we're gonna move on into the next match. One, we just had another caller join us right now.
Oh yeah, yo, what's happening, y'all? It's J Rod.
What up, yo?
What up? What up?
Yeah, because we about to get into like the third match of the show. I was speaking of celebrities, Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins.
I like to call him Seth Rogen Paul.
Seth Rogen Paul. But yeah, Logan Paul though, who had like a very Shawn Michaels like entrance with the zip line and putting it on YouTube, and his Prime energy drink, which I think I was talking to Gerard about this yesterday. Does that stuff even taste good?
Couldn't tell you.
I haven't drank
No
it.
one knows because no one drinks it.
I ain't never heard of it until he started promoting it.
Only the
Yeah.
Paul brothers and their friends drink Prime.
That's true. But yeah, he had this whole zipline entrance, and his YouTube people were out there and stuff, and his mascot, Seth Rollins, who looked like a giant bottle of Pepto Bismol, with a conductor for a whole orchestra to sing his theme song out there, which he because this is like a giant pink robe and everything, like the whole coat and stuff. Because I say he looks like Pepto Bismol out there. But then again, that's part of Seth's gimmick, him with the ridiculous, outlandish outfits they have him come out with every week. This match, it was really good. Shit, it was great. I'm not surprised by this. Don't get me wrong, I didn't want to see this match, honestly, or this feud in general, and it's been kind of iffy as it was anyways, because shit, going back to that last Logan Paul like promo they had, I wonder like why are we doing this match again? But I knew it was going to be really good, though. Like I said, Logan Paul is really good in the ring. We have seen that. And whatnot. Did he need this match against Seth? Do I think Seth should be doing something bigger? Yes, he should. But I overall did enjoy this match, though. There was a lot of crazy stuff in there, especially we all wondered who was going to be in the little mascot thing, which I thought it was going to be Jake Paul, but it ended up being KSI. Some people on the internet think it was actually going to be Jay White.
Huh?
You can't
What?
take people like
Huh?
that seriously,
What?
bro.
All right,
I
I be
couldn't take
like
that
thinking
seriously when
when
I
he
heard
be.
Jay White.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Bryce. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time when you come up with something like this, with the internet say something like that, I be thinking to myself like, who is these
On
people? Who
Twitter.
are
I'm
these
saying,
people?
bro.
I just
Like,
saw on the timeline. I saw it on the timeline.
I just said this before we even started recording. I said we got two completely different timelines, man.
no,
Like,
I heard you when you said that. That was when y'all thought I was off the line. I heard you when you said that. And I was agreeing so hard. Like, who are these people, man? Please tell. So I won't follow
nigga
them
Jay
or
White, bro. Okay.
I know.
right.
I thought it would have
Yo,
been
We
Jake
gonna
Paul though, for
introduce
real.
Jay White like that. That look like a goofball gimmick. Like we ain't gonna ever take Jay White seriously if he come out
Never,
there
bro. Very day
out that
one, bro.
bottle. Like we ain't gonna never take him seriously after that. It's done. Like
just
oh,
No, I couldn't see them doing that to
that's
him.
just it.
just know that there's absolutely a universe somewhere in the distant universe where Jay White is in that fucking Prime bottle.
And it looked hilarious.
It
It
pops
be,
like
That's
a
the same.
motherfucker.
it
That's
be,
the same universe where Undertaker came out the gobbledygooker. Because man,
Right.
Same
man.
universe. Yeah, same universe. Okay.
oh yeah, but
Both are in the Hall of Fame. Both are in the Hall of Fame.
both in the Hall of Fame. But the dive though, Seth did onto KSI after Logan Paul put him there. They were trying to get like a selfie, and no, Logan Paul hit him with the dive. My bad, off the top rope, like Shane McMahon style, and landed on him, which did look cool. And then Seth trying to go for the, because I know he had a pedigree. Then he went for the curb stomp, but then like Logan Paul hit a GTS, and I heard a very small, faint CM Punk chant then after that. But what Seth ended up dodging the frog splash, and he got him with a super. Well, yeah, he was gonna go for the coast to coast. Got him with the super kick in midair, and then hit the curb stomp, fired the whole crowd up, and finished on from there. So crowd was hot for this though. Great
It's
match. Like I
a
said, I had
I'm
it's
on
a
no doubt it was gonna be
completely
a great match.
it's a catch-22 type situation, right? Because it's like simultaneously Seth deserves better than this, but at
of
the same
course.
time, with him being in a celebrity match, it gets more press and more eyes on him and everything. So it's like
Oh
good
yeah,
for you, but also you deserve better than this at the same time.
yeah. Actually, it like it works. So it works for both universes. Like our universe and the wrestling community, we liked it because we like, all right, cool. Seth out there, he one of the best. In our in this generation right now, and we thinking to ourselves like, yeah, it's a good match. It also worked for the casual, not the casual, but the people who know Logan Paul, who follow Logan Paul. They look like, whoever this guy is, he good. Whoever this guy wrestling Logan Paul is, he's good. And so I really like the part where the dive, the when dude got put through the table. I liked it from the second angle. The first angle, me and my cousin were thinking like, man, hold on, Logan Paul did not see this man get pulled right here. We looked at it from the first angle, but that second angle, when we looking at Logan Paul was doing something, that's the reason why he got distracted. Because as soon
Yeah,
as
he
he
did the
stopped,
Triple H.
and
Yep.
as soon as he spit out the water, he jumped up. And so of course, like that happened simultaneously. So I'm like, all right, cool. That was a good angle right there. That first angle, we were thinking to ourselves like, Logan Paul, wait, hold on, you just wanted to jump on your boy, But but I liked it, the match though. I did. I kind of figured this match would go just like that because Logan is a good athlete. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he gonna be bad out there. He had a couple of big matches under his belt already, so I trusted him. And plus Seth Rollins, it's Seth Rollins, so,
Yeah, he's working with one of the best and whatnot. So like
you know,
with all the Logan Paul matches that have happened, they put him in the ring with most of the top tier echelon people and whatnot. But Logan Paul has been able to hold his own weight at the same time from what we've seen
Well, he
yeah,
in the
only did that
past.
twice though,
But
Rollins and
it's only
Roman.
how many matches has been? He
you're
said
right
like
This
because
is fourth match.
this
four
is for
matches
match. Hey,
because
they
the
put
first
him
one
with
was
top guys twice. That's
right.
Roman
Right.
and
Okay, twice then
Seth.
because one was last year. That was a tag match where he was in the ring with Ray, so that's one person. But
Oh
then
yeah,
after
I
that,
forgot.
And
Yeah,
Dominic. So,
Uh,
Dominic. But he was out there with them. The Miz was whatever at SummerSlam. Honestly, it was just whatever. The Roman one was really good, but there's a reason why they put it in Saudi Arabia because honestly, them niggas don't know no better over there. So that's why they knew it was gonna get over there than in America and stuff.
right.
And it ended up turning out pretty good, even though people thought allegedly they say what tore his ACL, but that ended up not happening. Then I guess it's the reason why John Morrison was going in on him on the internet and up to now, which also it helps that he was a heel this time and not a face because people do not legitimately like him. So it works best if he's a heel because when they put
Yeah,
him in face, he got booed out the building, and that's why they had that
yeah.
match in Saudi Arabia with Roman because they don't know no better. Because if it was and we saw even the promos when it was in America, the
Hmm.
fans was with Bloodline by default. They looked at them as default faces at the
Hmm.
time. So it was smart to
I
put
mean,
Logan as a heel this time.
I see. Here's the thing. Somebody was trying to say something.
no.
Oh
No,
no,
go ahead. Go
my
ahead.
bad. But yeah, man. Here's the thing. In most celebrity matches, like nowadays, especially nowadays, where most like us as a fans, we look at these celebrities trying to come in and get a quick little payday. Like, man, hold on, who are these guys coming in and get to beat up all the top guys who been working their ass off, in this company for the past X amount of years, but here this celebrity come out of nowhere. Oh man, I want to challenge for the top title, and I want to, do all this stuff that most guys have to bust their ass to get there. So of course, if you ain't a charismatic celebrity, we gonna look at you like, oh nah, bro, we not feeling you.
It's
You
just a guy
know,
looking for a payday.
we not feeling that. We most fans look at it like, nah, I hope this guy get, whooped. And that's how should have been treated Logan Paul in the first place. I just didn't understand why they treated him as the conqueror hero You know, even when against the Miz, I just didn't see it. You know, when he turned on the Miz, it's like, who cares about the Miz? Like, it's like,
Remember when the Miz turned on him, the crowd cheered.
Yeah,
Cheered.
they cheered for
Last
the Miz.
year.
They cheered for him.
Miz was there. It's all right. Good guy Miz is coming on, nigga.
They like the Miz
like,
over him. Like I said,
like,
the bloodline's supposed to be heels. Sure, they looked at them as all they were like the faces and everything. They were like the conquering heroes. It's like we're not gonna let this guy from YouTube and all his like whatever celebrity boxing matches come over here and take our stuff next. Like he's not gonna
mhm.
we're not gonna let him do that. So like there you go. People didn't like Logan Paul's is already from YouTube or whatever type of controversial stuff he's in already between him and his brother. Like they didn't like them, so it didn't work for. They weren't gonna work his faces. It was best to turn him heel because, like I said, the heels were really getting cheered over him. So like by default.
Yeah, I'm in a really weird place with Logan Paul, man, because every time I watch him wrestle, he's doing good stuff. He's having good matches. And yet I still just don't want to see this nigga, bro. And I really don't know what he can do to change that. Like,
It's not
like
about
when I see you, I know you're gonna do some cool shit, but I don't want to see you, bro.
Right, there we go. Well, I don't want to see you on my TV screen, but you know, if as long as you here, go ahead and do your little cool stuff for me.
it's,
As
Yeah,
long as you
'cause like
here,
you
he,
have to
he
treat Logan
he was
Paul.
working with Sean, so that's another plus. When I say working with top people, like he was working with Shawn Michaels, and wasn't had to getting ready for these matches.
Yeah, and
well, one thing,
gotta treat Logan Paul like a wrestler. Like the same way
yeah,
you look at Logan Paul, you gotta look or the same way you look at JBL, you gotta look at Logan Paul. Where it's like, damn, like outside of wrestling, I don't know if I like you that much. But in the ring, you're the fucking greatest. You know what I mean? I can watch you all day. So like
So,
that's the way I treat like Logan Paul, where it's like I don't even watch what he does outside of whatever he do in the ring. And it makes the matches that much better because it's like I guess I don't have a notion behind whatever the fuck he's doing.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I don't know what that man be doing outside.
all
The only time
all
I
I
see him is on WWE.
all I knew was the boxing matches at the time, and I didn't look at those legit all the way.
Oh, yeah, I
I
look
ain't
at
even looking at those, bro.
I
That was a
still
money
don't know what
fight.
the nigga. I still don't know what he really truly do.
He's on
If you ask,
YouTube.
I don't know what he do on YouTube. Like you can tell, like this when this get uploaded to YouTube, we are talking about wrestling, so people know what we talking about. So it's like, all right, cool. They talking about wrestling. They ain't talking about nothing else. But what does he do on YouTube? Like what do he do? Like
I cannot
Don't
tell
like
you.
what
I
subject
never
matter does
really
he
knew
does?
some
Well, what
stunt.
do he? That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like what I still don't know what he does. Like what do
so the nigga for YouTube is basically they beg sponsors to give them money to make their lives look interesting enough to post on YouTube. That's like a short term.
what?
I'm saying this
Yeah, my
he a
goodness,
Mr.
what is
Beast
this?
ass nigga. Like he just famous and we don't really know why. Like he just is.
Yeah,
There you
he got
go.
sponsors to give him a bunch of money. They use that bunch of money to do really cool, crazy shit, post it, and then they make more money and they pocket that money.
Well, shit, how I get in that idea, bro? Like,
Right,
what?
but how did we
Yeah,
get this?
6'4", white, fluffy, blonde hair, nigga, you can do anything.
Hey, I was about to say, hey, I'm 6'4", but all right, I ain't white and blonde, fluffy hair. So, all right, all right,
It's the algorithm.
It's always
okay.
the algorithm. It's always that. But let's move on to the next match though. 6-woman tag. Becky, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control. Basically Becky, Lita, and Trish did have a Sin City like entrance out there, even though I felt like the CGI rain didn't look that good. But
That's
that
true.
was
Me
their
neither.
big entrance. I'm sure there's a lot to say about Trish, especially in her entrance, or probably wondering if something was gonna pop out of her shirt throughout half the night, because a lot was said about that.
My goodness.
What was that?
It was
Now
hard
my
not to stare.
timeline was saying that.
Yeah, I
It was
ain't
hard
gonna lie
not to
to you.
stare.
Right, it was.
Yeah, I mean that was always the thing about Trish. God damn, she had body.
Still looks great. Still looks
Right, it
great.
did.
She
Still looks
top two for me,
fantastic.
bro. That's all I got to say, and I'm gonna keep it as PG as possible. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
Okay, hey, she still looks fantastic though.
but but if I could give a quick recap, because I didn't give a quick synopsis because I came in all late and shit. Sorry, guys. The first match, John Cena and Austin Theory, was boring as fuck. Not because they were bad wrestlers, just because it was like just such a just cookie cutter ass match.
Yo,
What
we
we
said the
all
same
just
shit,
say.
bro.
yeah, we
We
all
all just said the exact same thing, bro. It's like you was right here the whole time.
It just didn't, yeah. Like it like it could have been good if there was more to it than what we were given. But
Hmm.
yeah, but I'm happy to see John or whatever, so that was cool. The second match was Rey Mysterio, right?
no, no, no,
No,
no. That was the fatal four way
the Fatal
tag.
4-Way tag team match.
Oh yeah, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, fucking amazing. That should have been the start. Like honestly, like you could have replaced the John Cena match, or you could have replaced the Pat McAfee match with the John Cena Austin Theory match. If you're gonna put something quick in between the title matches, all right, cool. Give me John Cena as a co-main event, even though it's not the best match. I'd rather see him then than to see him in the beginning. And then could have gave the first match, the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, as the first match because that was a great match. Like that would have been a great tone setter for how good the card actually was. Um, so yeah, I really like that one, even though it didn't have any reason or meaning. It was a great meaningless match. Even if they would have given it, I was telling Bryce this yesterday. Even if they would have given it first contender contentions, where it's like, hey, whoever wins this match is first contender for whoever wins the tag team match tonight. At least then, like it would have just made it that much better. But even without that, I think it was just a really solid match. Everybody did their part. Everything looked cool. I love the Braun Strowman situation, and then my boy from the Street Profits, he ended the little train. That was cool as fuck. Um, so then the third match we just talked about, right?
Yeah, we talked
That's
about
funny because
Logan
we
Seth.
we said all that same exact stuff too, bro.
Yeah,
so,
we
Cool. Yeah.
literally did.
so
So
you 2-0, bro.
we literally just talked, and we just talked about Seth and Logan. So yeah, basically right now we into the 6-woman tag, which it was good. Um, Going into this, I didn't really have much care for it in general. I think the match got better throughout time and whatnot. I know, and listen to me, like Steve and some other people said that it took a minute for Lita to kind of catch up and whatnot because she was kind of
I
moving
want to
slow
say
at
some.
first.
I wanted to say something about that too. Hey, you can still go here. I want to go after you. Go ahead.
Okay, but I thought she did get better in the match. But I said this when she had been on Raw wrestling recently that she was kind of moving kind of slow out there, which some people kind of question like maybe they should have just made Becky and Trish the champions because Trish can really still move like that. It took Lita a minute, but she did catch up the pace and whatnot. Honestly, like this match though, like I said, it was good. I don't really have much care for damage control, especially at this point. They literally lose all the time, which I've even said that Bailey just needs to go back to being a single star. And that goes the same for EO, especially after listen to that promo with Becky last Monday. Like this woman was the most dominant person in NXT. Now you're a lackey. Like what happened? So I feel like EO and Bailey should be doing their own thing. The Dakota Kai, I don't really have that much care for, so that's whatever with me, in my opinion. But like I said, this match it was just kind of it was an okay crowd pleasing match, and that was kind of it. And the faces won from here, so I don't really got much to say. It was a decent to good match.
And yeah, what I wanted to say about what I wanted to say about Lita was I see this all the time. Since she been doing these little comebacks here and there. Like every match that I see her, it's like, well, I guess Lita is here, but she not moving. She don't move very well. And it's just, I don't know what it is. She just don't move very well to me.
You know what I think it could be? Honestly, no joke. I think like because you got to think about the career of Trish Stratus and Lita. Trish Stratus and Lita had two different careers, low key. Especially,
Hmm.
so
High key.
Trish is probably a little younger,
Right, ain't no right. High key.
I
You
I,
correct.
like Trish was doing pretty girl shit in the 90s where Lita was fucking jumping off ladders and shit with
Like, yeah.
moonsaults and like injuries. We've seen her like broke her neck and
Yeah.
More than once.
knees and stuff. So
Yeah.
Lita's done a
I
lot of crazy stuff. Team Extreme, Hardy
re-
shit. So there you go.
remember when she got hit so many times by Stone Cold Steve Austin with the
With the
chair.
chair. Yeah.
I mean, he was
God damn.
whamming her in the back. And back in the day, they did. Man, look, they were just swinging old boys. And she took all of them in the back. So yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. I definitely agree. It was just two different paths equal two different paths of life too. Now this woman all broken up, and this one she got to keep most of her abilities because she didn't really do too much in the ring.
Seriously, man. Nothing more than the Trish Stratus, the little bulldog joint.
Yeah, you know. So I definitely agree with that. But that's what I always. But I see that out of Lita a lot. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, man, and it's like I happy to see it. It was one of my favorite theme songs back in the day. I love to hear it, but my goodness, it's sometimes it's kind of dreadful to look at it sometimes.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything I just heard. I completely agree. And even more importantly than that, I'm kind of tired of seeing Io Shirai have to slow down her
Mm.
offense for everybody else to catch up to her. Because it's like,
Hmm.
what Io can do. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
Oh yeah.
she got to wrestle a certain way to help everybody else look good when she could really
Io
go
was a
crazy
monster.
if they let her go crazy. Like I didn't watch Raw, but from what I heard, her and Becky were having like a banger on Raw or whatever. And
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was a
well,
nice one.
good. You put her in there with somebody who can actually do EO stuff, bro. And like, we need more of that. And I don't hate the group of Damage Control. I actually love all three of them individually and together. But what they were strong one time, and that was at Clash of the Castle a year ago. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? I
I
fully
say
expected
that.
them to lose, but at the same time, it's like, man, Damage Control are pretty ass, right? Like,
And and,
Yeah,
and here's another.
I
And just to add on real fast. I don't mean to interrupt. Like, didn't we see like Bianca and Becky like single handedly damn near kick the crap out of all three of
I was
them?
just about to say that, bro. And I
facts.
was just about to say that. It's like I think that's really killed Damage Control when you have one person beat up three heels. Hey, that's what you just told me was these three heels ain't nothing. And so that's how I'm gonna treat them from now on. And it's
And they
like
were
no matter
champions.
Yeah, yeah,
there
they
we
had the
go, all
titles.
three right. So it's like, oh, so when you trying to tell me that, and I know y'all was trying to put Bianca over, but at that point in time, she was as over as she was going to be. Bianca, it was over. So we didn't have to just make her look super strong out there, by letting her beat up three top. I mean, not three top, but could be if you put them separately. They could be three top girls in a division. But so we got. I think we got really, to be honest, disband all three really. If Oscar win tonight, you could really disband them, and then EO could be a nice little opponent for Oscar. It's like you could use these three girls individually.
They pretty much messed up immediately because they brought him in super strong, and then they lost that tournament. like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
are we doing, Trips? What are we doing?
That
To
was
who? Raquel and Aaliyah? Like, what are we
Leah.
doing?
One of them
Oh
not.
yeah,
One
that
of them
was
is
the
not
team.
right. One of them I haven't seen on TV in months, and the other is going to be in a fatal four-way tag team match. Like what? Like, come on, man. That's who we lose to. Come on, man. Come on,
Even
y'all.
Yeah,
like her
that
third
that team
partner. Like, come on,
that
bro.
team was
Right, bro.
very. That was a makeshift team, and they were very touchy feely for some reason.
Touchy
Oh my
feely.
goodness.
Anybody ever notice that?
Oh man.
Like, did anybody ever notice that?
Notice
I noticed a little bit. Aaliyah really more than Raquel. I think Aaliyah was just more excited to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? Often as she was
because she ain't
presented
deserved to
because
be.
She was in
right more
NXT.
than she
She was in
deserved to be.
NXT forever, and she wasn't really
But
good.
it was the reason why. It was the
Facts.
reason why. It's like when you see certain people been in a certain spot forever, and you be like, man, yeah, they was in that spot forever, man, and now they here. I'm like, why they here? It's a first question. And why they put them in this position? Because Aaliyah did not deserve that position. She was on SmackDown going against at that time when we were trying to present Damage Control as a top heels. At that time, she was in the ring with top heels. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Natalia.
who? What made y'all think that she could handle this spot?
That's true. That is all true. Because that's I was wondering where this push was coming from. Because she was not pushed like that on NXT. She really wasn't. Until she got to the main roster, she was kind of starting to get a little bit more of a spotlight then a little. Because then they were trying to play up to the beating Natalia like in 15 seconds, and they made a whole T-shirt out of that. Then like it was Austin or something. So they were kind of giving her a decent push until she
And
got
that
injured.
kind of hurt Damage Control at the end of the day. You know, and I feel that they were trying to give us a swerve for the sake of a swerve, but still, like you can't do that. Like you gonna hurt these girls, and that's what it was. They been getting hurt by bad booking.
Because
Facts.
even Bailey's booking was better before she even got hurt, to begin with when she was out for a long time. Because when she came back, I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. But then kind of later on, it's just been like, yeah, they've kind of killed Bailey here now at this point. So
And then they gave if you want to take Bailey into put her as a single side, you gave her gimmick to Chelsea because she a better character than Chelsea is. She could be a better Karen. Yeah, and she could be the annoying, you know, heel. She plays that very well. So
Yeah,
they,
I
so
don't
yeah,
disagree with any of that. Although I will say, I mean, this turned pretty negative, but I actually did enjoy this match. But we
I
had to
did,
just get all
yeah.
that out
it was
there.
an
Oh
okay
yeah,
match. It
yeah.
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I really enjoyed this match. It wasn't bad. Like I said, like Bryce was saying, I like the interest that they gave Trish and Lita and Becky. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It,
That little dialogue with the two women, they rivalry, made a little girl grow up and want to be a superstar. I'm like, man, that is nice little dialogue. I don't know how much of that is true, but that's a nice little dialogue.
I,
You
I'll
know,
say that's true. I'll say one last thing before we move on to the next thing. Did anybody really believe that Trish was going to turn on them? Just to say that real fast.
I don't even know
I
where that
I
came from.
I, I think that everybody want to see that. They want to see a Trisha and Becky feud, and I think a lot of people been saying it, but I didn't want to. Here's the thing. We could, if that's gonna happen, we could wait till tomorrow night. To be perfectly honest, we don't really have to do. Did we really need it there? If it were gonna happen, if this rumor is true, then we really need it there at WrestleMania while they celebrated the good guys celebrated you know. And did we really need it? Nah, I don't think so.
That's a
Nah,
big. I tell you what, that's a big angle to have on Raw tomorrow. That's what ends up happening. That's kind of crazy.
that
Um,
would be crazy.
and that I was telling Bryce this yesterday too. And honestly, based off of how this night one went, I think it's safe to say I'm really excited for this Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I'm really excited because a lot can happen, and
Yeah,
hopefully that is one of those things. Because I'm one of them people that want to see that Trish Stratus
I'm
turn.
with you too.
We haven't seen Hill Trish Stratus in probably a decade, right? Like it's been a while.
A
Um,
long
I
while.
a long time.
so like
But
yeah, it would be
there's,
great.
there's a possibility. So we'll see if it happens on Monday on Raw. But next the next match though. Wait, hello, you still there?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, I
Who?
was making sure it was working. My bad.
Oh,
But
okay.
nah. Next match though. Um, This match is now brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Crunch.
I hated that so much, bro.
I know, but Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. We had Bad Bunny on a Spanish announced team on commentary who got a huge pop. Hey, Bad Bunny's really popular, and he'll be hosting Backlash next month in Puerto Rico, so that's going to be really big. But yeah, we had him on commentary.
Hey, what's up
Dominic,
with Bad Bunny? What's different about Bad Bunny that everybody just loves Bad Bunny, but everybody hates all these other celebrities that come in here? Like, I don't remember seeing any hate for Bad Bunny when he came in and at the Rumble, and people were
Because
just down
I
with
think
the WrestleMania match and
He's a,
everything.
I
and
think
he's
it's
really good. He was really good in the ring, so I don't
I,
really have nothing bad to
I
say
think
about
that
it.
I
it's
think that's what it is. Really think that's what it really came down to how they presented both guys. Let's just say Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. They're two guys that they presented, in these last few years. One is presented to be this over the hill fan of wrestling. Like, oh my gosh, I love wrestling so much. I love the WWE. So you would gravitate towards that type of guy, but like, man, he just a fan just like us. You know what I'm saying? Then you have with Logan Paul, and you know that it's like he can say the same thing as Bad Bunny, but it won't come out as genuine. It is what it was with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny made it seem like he had his heart in this. And it's like, man, I I really gravitate towards him more than I gravitate towards Logan Paul. Even if that makes sense a little bit, if
It,
that
No,
makes sense.
that definitely makes sense.
That makes sense because, like you said, he is a dedicated fan, and he really did want to learn, and that's why his match was really good at WrestleMania a few years ago. Like we know how big of a fan he is. We
But
seen half
Logan Paul
wrestlers
did
in
the
his.
same
He's
thing
had
though.
yeah. He's like it's same with Logan Paul too. He took it serious in the ring, and like you said with I think people like you said they kind of like what Kyle said about gravitating more towards to Bad Bunny and whatnot, because like you said, he's just a fan, just like us. And hell, we seen half the wrestlers in his music videos. If you look those up, he's had Austin in his video. He made a song about Booker T and whatnot, and had Undertaker come out at one of his concerts and stuff. So people know how dedicated of a fan he is, and that's why
Wait, that's funny as hell, bro. Undertaker on stage with Bad Bunny, bro.
yeah, he brought it. I saw the clip. He was like the motorcycle, like had the gong and it was like American Badass Taker, but like he had the whole motorcycle and everything. Like he literally had Undertaker there at one of his concerts just to do an entrance and whatnot. So
Oh, that makes
he
more sense. I'm thinking he got the whole gimmick with the coat and the hat, and he just like what?
I know it was
What
crazy.
the new man? Nah.
Okay, you're gonna be the dead man at a
Why
rap
you
concert.
having this reggaeton music in the background? This man coming out there smoke with a looking like the
Don't
Putting
get
his
Undertaker.
weird
hands
and
up,
stuff.
doing the raise the roof, bro. Like that's funny, bro.
But nah, it was Biker Taker to what I saw though. So they had that version of him. But yeah, like I said, the guy's he's really that damn popular. And like I said, look at the pop he got out there as soon as they showed him. And like they brought him in for Backlash. So they having him host that. So you know that's gonna be a big turnout when Backlash comes around.
Bro, if
But
they do Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny versus Priest and Dominic, that crowd is gonna go crazy at Backlash.
oh, they're gonna
Crazy.
go bonkers. Bonkers, I'm telling you. They're gonna go bonkers for that. But looking at this match and the entrances, the Dominic thing was pretty funny to me because
Oh,
they had this guy come out like it was Kane in '03 with like the whole prison handcuffs and shackles and correctional officers. Like they thought this was Kane or something. Like they made him look like the biggest monster they could try to make Dominic look. And I just thought it was kind of funny in a way. Don't get me wrong, he gets like me and Steve had this conversation. When's the last time you seen a heel get this much heat and whatnot? You could say that with MJF, but people tend to cheer MJF
no.
at the same time. But I just thought it was funny with Dominic's entrance in a way of how much they were trying to put up into the whole, prison Dominic thing. Because we've all had conversation about they trying to make this guy like he was the toughest man, like he's in these streets like that for real and whatnot. So it's funny at the same time. And, Ray coming out with Snoop and a lowrider because first they was playing, Dre and Snoop ain't nothing but a G thing. And then, crowd pop when Eddie's music came on then, lowrider, Viva La Raza. And then it just goes into Ray's regular music. And, it was a cool ass entrance. Snoop with the title, Ray's gear looked cool as fuck. It was a lot about that whole thing that was really good. Even the video package just showing from Dominic as a kid, as we've seen in the past, of Ray's whole family being there all the way to where it currently is right now, building up the whole father versus son thing. So, like I said, this is probably like the second most built up thing in this whole weekend of WrestleMania, or just in WWE itself. Probably one of the biggest stories. So good stuff. The only thing that took away from it was the cinnamon toast crunch thing, because we got this blood feud, but we got to make sure we got to get our advertisers out there. And when I
Why
think
could
of blood feud, I got to eat some cereal.
First of all, it was a match for that. It was a fatal 4-way tag team match. You could have did that with. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
This feud right here was a straight up a real life feud here. Like, why are you over here trying to do advertisement in this match? Yeah, it was a whole match you could have did that with earlier in the night.
A few of
Like,
them. You could have did that during Seth and Logan, bro.
You could have
Yeah,
did
you
that.
could
the
have did
light
that with
thing. That,
Cena Austin. It's like you could have did that with any other match, but this one, this what you wanted to. Come on, bro. Like
Hated it.
that threw me all the way off, all the way off. I'm like, okay, cool. Kyle, get back in the match. It's Rey
Like, bro, you got the
Mysterio.
only dude on this show with some real heat. People want to see this man get his face stomped in. And
Stop
then
in.
to the left, we see a giant cinnamon toast crunch character dancing. I'm like, what is this, bro? What this tone ain't right, bro. Like,
Oh my goodness, man.
I don't know what they were thinking with that, dog. I
Oh,
really
man.
don't.
Dumbest
That
thing.
was just dumb. It
it
was
was
just dumb.
crazy, and
I don't
this
like.
was a good match. Though, oh, my bad, Gerard. You want to say something? My bad, I didn't cut you
I
off.
was gonna say I don't like advertised WWE matches. They just kind of kill the vibe.
Just
We
put it on
saw
the
that
mat
with
like
we saw
UFC,
with
bro.
Bray Wyatt. We saw the lightsaber match with the Mountain Dew stuff at the
At
Rumble.
least, yeah, at least it wasn't that bad because that was just horrible.
Just put
Okay,
the
well, yeah, that
logo
was
on the
worse.
mat. That's all you gotta do, bro.
God, that was.
Y'all got lights and mascots out here. I'm like, what is this? Like, seriously, it's supposed to be this big blood feud, and you got all these big entrances for both of them, and then the cinnamon toast crunch thing, like, just really took it away. But
What happened
this
to
was
Hey, I
what
want
happened? What happened to just giving out shout outs like they used to do with Snickers? Like, the WWE WrestleMania is brought to you by Snickers. Are you hungry?
yeah.
They
And
pay
then
for more than
yeah,
that, I guess. Like,
I guess because now it's been sponsored by 12 other things. You know what I'm saying? You got WrestleMania also sponsored by WWE 2K, and also sponsored by this energy drink. And what it's like? Well, hold on, time out. Like I know y'all got your hands in a lot of money and stuff, but my goodness, yo. I think y'all could take a couple of y'all could afford to take a couple of hands out of the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? Like in some of these hands, you don't need every advertisement money, Joe. You a multi-billion-dollar company. Like my goodness, Joe.
it.
and it wouldn't even have mattered if they just put it in a different match. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
like,
we were saying. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
go
because, like,
ahead,
you,
boy.
you didn't need this in this blood feud. Like, come on, like, all the story that's gone on into this, and like, come on, like, literally the night before they put Ray in the Hall of Fame, and whatnot. I'm almost surprised I didn't see Conan come out with him last night, because I know they had Conan induct him, but this whole big blood feud, and like I said, this was still a good match. Also, you got Ray's family out there too, like his parents, his wife, and daughter, and then Judgment Day's getting involved, and it was like a lot going on, and the LWO, or reformation of the LWO. So this was still a good match overall. It's just some cinnamon toast crunch light thing really just kind of took away from it in a way, but this was still an overall good match in general. Like, I enjoyed it, and Bad Bunny got involved, so that kind of tells you, like what Steven said earlier, we may see a tag match coming up into this, because
Hey,
like I said, they
Puerto
wouldn't
Rico.
Puerto Rico, because like they had Finn and Priest out there. I think Finn looks like a German Shepherd sometimes with the scarf on his neck,
a
but
German Shepherd.
don't know why it just looks like it and stuff. But No, this was still a fun match. I wasn't surprised Ray won here. I kind of figured Ray was gonna win anyways. I'm like,
No,
Ray's
Ray
got
had
to
to win,
pay.
bro.
Ray had to win. Like he's been getting his ass
It
kicked
was
for
a
nine
lot of people.
months.
Nah, but it was like I don't know what made people want it the other way around. I like hold on, time out. This whole storyline says Ray should win. I don't
It's the
know.
heat, bro. People want the
They
heat.
yes, they he jumped him. They jumped him at his house. They
Like
jumped
I
him
don't. Right. I don't want the man who been doing all these nasty things to his father to win. Like I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Hey, we want the a-hole son to win. Like come on, who wanted that? Like
Yeah, like Ray
no.
had to get payback, and then like, so we gonna put him in the Hall of Fame just to have him lose the next night because they,
Right.
they even had him they even had him walk out of his own dad's induction speech with the rest of Judgment Day, which I will say one little funny thing. I kind of found it funny they got Buddy Murphy sitting right next to, Dominic and Rhea when it's actually Buddy's actually with Rhea in real life. I thought that was kind of hilarious. But like they had him walk out of his own dad's induction speech, and like come on, like Ray had to win. Like they literally have Ray not even wanting to hit him for months and getting the crap kicked out of him until he finally fought back at his own kid and whatnot. Come on, they even had his mom slap his mom slapped him out there and whatnot. Because I'm almost right they didn't even have his Ray's whole family jump him next.
Nah,
That
he
would have
don't
been
want to be too
hilarious.
cartoon with it.
All right,
He
that would
don't
have
want to
been
be too
cartoony.
cartoonish, man.
No,
That would have been
they're gonna have him do the Brian and Stewie on the record, bro.
oh,
On Dominic. Oh no.
but
Man,
But
I don't.
nah, they did the legato LWO thing, which I'll admit I did pop when I saw the LWO shirts back in and whatnot. So that was pretty cool because no one hasn't done it since WCW and whatnot with the LWO. Only difference is that Ray's not gonna take off his mask for this one, like Eddie had everybody take off their mask in the LWO back then. So and they at least they let Legato do a little bit something out there this time. But I still see that tag match coming. But yeah, Ray had to win.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see why you could say why Dominic would win, but nobody should be saying Dominic should have won.
Nah, nah,
Like
nah.
this
Not that
this
this
was
one.
designed for Ray to win, bro.
it
Yeah.
was designed because I'll admit Dominic has gotten better throughout time. Because I'll tell you, like between me and Gerard, like we see kind of a whole different thing with Dominic leading up to this. Because well, I said it was going to, like, even when the get go, when he first turned on, I'm like, you know what? There's going to be a sink or swim situation.
Yeah.
It's either going to work or it's not going to work. Don't get me wrong. I think the prison thing got a little bit silly half the time and
I mean, isn't
whatnot.
that the
But
point
I
though?
mean, you supposed to have laugh pedal. That's what they
Right.
yeah,
wanted
I
you
mean, it
to
was the
do.
point because it's like Kyle said it to me. It's like the rich kid from the suburbs trying to
Acting
act
like he from
hard.
the hood.
Like he
It's
from
like
the hood. Like he out. They
I
got
know
him
y'all know
face
those
tattoo.
cats.
And they got
we
him
all know. We all
like
know those type of people.
and then people compared him to Eddie because he grew his hair out and this is the new Latino heat and whatnot. And
Nah, why ain't going that far
No,
now, nigga?
nobody said that, bro.
I've heard
Here
some
we go
motherfuckers
again,
say
bro.
that. 'Cause then
Ain't
he was
nobody on
like,
my timeline said
it was like
that.
I should have been. He said I should have been Eddie's son. He had him go out there and do that,
But honestly, though, I get what you're saying. Because, like, for real, that's what got me into Dominic's character. Seeing how similar he looks to young Eddie, it makes me think that, like, what they could do and build on is, like, he could have an obsession complex about Eddie. That would be fire, I think. If you want to keep building heat on a motherfucker like that, if it's like he has like an obsession complex where it's like now he's obsessed with trying to be Eddie to the point where he's doing everything like that guy, and it's just like spiraling, kind of like how Mickey James was with Trish Stratus when she first came in the game. That would be a crazy dope dynamic.
Yeah, I do agree with you on one point. Like we need to start like after this, it's done now. With this situation after, especially after WrestleMania Backlash, we need a new layer to his gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got past the part that he, a whole son, who don't don't appreciate the things that his father did for him. We got past that now. Now we need another layer to his character to continue with. You know, it's gonna be a while for people to accept this man as a face, so we're gonna have to keep on healing it up for him.
Oh yeah,
But,
he's getting
yeah,
major.
yeah, he get major heat, so it's gonna be a while for we to turn and say we want him as a face or anything. Now we still need him to ham it up as a heel. Yeah, but we need a new layer to his game though.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, now like the story, well, it may continue, but like I said, Ray had to win this match. I never really doubt he was gonna lose. I know the whole he's got to put over his son, but I'm like, it wouldn't
No,
really make much sense for him to lose right here after he's gotten the crap kicked out of him for nearly 9 to 10 months. Okay, like
let's just say, all right, let's put everything in real life. And you knew a friend. I mean, you know a person that was his son was just being an a-hole to him, man, and coming to his crib on holidays, messing up the holidays, and so, cussing out his mama and slapping him as a father, slapping his father. So, would you want that person to have anything good to happen to him? No, you
no, no,
wouldn't want
no.
that. Nothing good to happen to him. So why would you want this man to win a WrestleMania match?
Yeah, 'cause
Just
I
because they
get
got these so many fans are Stockholmed by this company, thinking that it's all about the heat, bro. You gotta get the heat, the heat,
you
the
got
heat. It's like, bro,
heat.
sometimes you can just have the good moment, bro.
Yes.
Let's
Can we
Just
have a
have
have
good
Ray
good
beat
ending.
him,
moments?
bro.
Let's have a good ending right here,
That's
because
what WrestleMania is about anyway, to be honest with you.
it's a
I never
story.
understood the heel winning at WrestleMania. It's like no. No.
We're looking at you, Triple H.
Right.
Oh,
Looking
oh,
at you,
Jesus,
Triple
sorry.
H. How many times he won at WrestleMania? Like, no, that's not supposed to happen. The confetti is going on the heel. Like, what type of look at this? Like, yeah, I don't know. Just these fans sometimes kind of throw me off a little bit with this.
Like I said, you had to get that good ending from here, because people act like, yeah, Dominic's got to win, so Ray will retire and whatnot right here. Like, I didn't never think that was gonna
Retired.
happen. People thought that was gonna be like a mask versus career match or something like that. Like, if you
Man,
lose,
what?
your career is over or something
Oh,
like.
Kyle funny as hell, bro.
What you
I
say?
said I never really
What
had
you,
that. I never really had that feeling, because I'm like, yeah, raising in the Hall of Fame, but like the guy he's still that guy. Like, he ain't
man, you
really
were
slowed
talking about
down.
it. Man, you were talking about when they
He
inducted him, and you was like, "Oh man, is it too early?" I'm like, "Well, we don't know when this man is about to
retired.
wrap
Yeah,
it
we
up.
don't know when. He can
So
still go at
he
a
don't
high level.
right,
He's still that dude.
right. So I don't. So might as well just do it now. We don't know what time he gonna call it quits. So might as well do it now. He had a nice little run. He had a 30-year run so far at this point. So why not?
He's had an
You know,
incredible career, and stuff in general. So like, even when you're in the Hall of Fame, we see people in the Hall of Fame that still wrestle to this day, like Edge. There you go. That's another example. So like, he still got, so like, let's get him in there now. Why he's still that dude. He still got it and whatnot. So, but he had to win this match here. Like I said, he had to win this match. There was never doubt in my mind he was ever gonna lose. Ray had to finally get his payback on Dominic. So.
Yeah, this
'Cause,
whole
right,
and
boys.
situation just played out perfectly, man.
Yeah, they did. It did.
When Dom splashed the water on Aaliyah, I was like, oh my God, no way, bro. And then mom slapped him later on. I'm
yeah,
like, yes, bro, let's go.
because yeah, Ray was like, "That's my wife. That is your mother. That's my wife." Okay, so like, yeah, Ray had to get him right there. So that's how I looked at the whole match. Dry, you still there? Did he have to go, or no? He's still in there. His thing was muted for some reason. I don't know where he went, but he'll be back. But nah, like overall, though, this match, this is really good. It ended how it needed to end it and whatnot. I still think it's kind of funny. One last part before we move on. Everybody said that Ray looked bigger than Dominic, like size-wise out there, and that height. Because people still think Dominic looks smaller than Ray, even
And he
though he's
is.
taller than him, which is true. Ray's big as shit. So there you go. But next, though, we go into the SmackDown's women title.
I
I'm
rub my hands. That was my
Man,
favorite match. That was
Yeah,
my favorite.
yep. Some would say this was the best
Man,
match out of the night, which I do agree. It
I
was
would
I
concur.
took
arguably the best
from
match
the
out of the
history of
night.
that shit.
Huh? Go ahead.
Hold
What?
on.
What you
I was,
said? What
I
you
was,
said?
I was saying from the history of that shit. Tear it up. And the reason I say that is because I stopped watching wrestling for a long fucking time. Right?
Cause you go ahead first. Cause I was gonna say about it real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Because not like I said, arguably this was the best match out of the entire night, which I do agree. I know it did not main event WrestleMania. Some would argue that even going into this whole thing, because like I said, by Royal Rumble rules, usually you're supposed to main event WrestleMania, but we've seen in the past of people not main event WrestleMania, even though they still win the Royal Rumble. Because I had no doubt in my mind this match was gonna be dope. Okay, we've seen Rhea versus Charlotte before, even a few years ago at WrestleMania, and some would still say that was like the best match at WrestleMania at that time.
Maybe
We
at
know,
that time. At that
yeah,
That's
time,
what I said.
that was one of my favorite matches.
I agree. I said that too.
WrestleMania.
I didn't agree with the decision, but I never said it was that great of a match. That was one hell of a match. Probably one of the best on that card at the time. So we know they can put on dope matches. So there was no doubt in my mind. It's just the build really sucked going into this. Like the story writes itself. We all know that. It's just they didn't really do that much. And then again, you can say that for all the women's matches on the WrestleMania card. The build was not good. There's no doubt in my mind that the match was going to be dope, though. Okay. So there's a reason why this was not the main event of WrestleMania, and that the tag match was, and we'll get into that soon. But like I said, the Bloodline story, we've seen how everyone was so invested into that. So, like I said, it had to main event because a lot of people, some people even kind of thrown off. Even if you open up the Peacock thing, you see Charlotte and Ripley right there for like night one. You would have assumed they main evented, maybe because I didn't know who was really gonna main event night one, but I
But
figured
I
the
think
tag.
I
it's the
didn't
right
either.
call, though. I
But
think it was the right call.
it was the right call because like some will wonder if you did put the women in the main event, would have it worked? Because it's just the thing is nobody was really invested in the storyline and whatnot, and it could be other reasons too. Because some will even go on to say, are you putting them in the main event because it's organically in there, or are you just putting them in there because you just want to do it to be? Because nowadays WWE wants to be the first to do everything. Nowadays, the first of it is the first of it that, the first of it is, and then people
I
just
know
catch
y'all
on,
heard.
and then
I
people
know
just
y'all.
catch.
I know y'all
But
heard them patted themselves on the back. Yep. During the match, but in the beginning of the match, like everybody who was involved in the match was a woman.
yeah, I
So
said
it was
first
like,
woman to do this, first that, first this, and it's almost like is it organic? Is it organic, or are you just doing this to be the first and trying to push some agenda? Because nowadays everybody's pushing an agenda and stuff, but are you doing it because it's naturally, or you just want to do it just to get the headlines and stuff and push whatever audience that is out there to push
here's
that
the thing.
agenda and whatnot? Because we can see
Uh,
a lot of that stuff, and it's been said online like you're just doing this for the women or some whack feminist bullshit.
but
No,
nah, here's the thing though.
Nigga fucking
My bad. We'll cut it off. Anybody? I'm sorry. Let me
My
just
bad for cutting y'all, but
But you
no, go ahead.
already got that headline though. That was a few years ago, a couple of years ago. You already got that headline. You already did that once, so you don't need that headline constantly. So I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't think they would have did that for a headline because they already did a main event, a women's main event already. So it wasn't like it this they did a right call because the storyline for the bloodline is ending. So it's ending here at WrestleMania. So you really needed to be, the main event for both nights. To be honest with you, it was the right call. And Sami Zayn, one of the MVPs for the year. Anyway, and so I really think that spot should have been for them. You know, not Rhea, Charlotte. I really respect the match and I love the match. One of my favorite matches of the night. But it was good that they had this spot and not the main event spot.
easily, man. Yo, low key, I teared up watching that match because I stopped watching wrestling for a long time. The first match I saw when I first started watching it back was the Survivor Series women's match with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair and them. And I was man, my jaw was on the fucking floor looking at Rhea Ripley. I'm like, who the fuck is this? She's fucking built like a fucking beast. She's killing everybody. She's on NXT. What the fuck? Okay. She gonna blow up one day, right? And then full circle, her versus Charlotte, them having a fucking crazy ass match a a couple years ago, and now them coming back to just have this fucking crazy banger of telling them
They beat the hell out of each other in this match. They
I'm
beat
talking
the hell out of each
the
other.
hardest fucking that was a hard style women's match if I ever seen one. Fucking hard suplexes, like full on punches, full on kicks. It was great. It was what like man, that was an amazing women's match. It was way better than the fucking than the trios women's match. Definitely. I don't know if Bianca and Asuka can top it. We gonna see. But man, that shit was cool. It was really
And
cool.
and
Gerard, and here's the thing though. I wouldn't even want to put that on them to try to top it. Cause I don't think they can. And I ain't trying to no disrespect to both Oscar and Bianca, but I that level that we seen last night, that is a special level.
Right.
Not many people can get to that level. Um, having a match like that. And like I said, no disrespect to the both of them, but that would be very hard. And I wouldn't even want to put that on them to even try to even get to that level last night. Just get me close. You get what I'm saying? I ain't even try to ask you for all of it. Just give me some, and
Man,
I'll be cool.
yeah, as much dig riding as I'm doing for Ripley right now. Shout out Charlotte Flair for doing just like Ric Flair level selling the whole fucking
My goodness, did she?
she was
oh
on
yeah,
point.
she
Like
looked dead out there a
get that
few
fucking
times.
get that German
Yeah,
suplex and get a back
Even hitting the post at the end, she looked like just
she
dead.
she looked at limp after she hit that post. Her whole body, she made her whole body just look like she was out of it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this the end. This the end, folks.
It's such a bomb.
Man,
Dope ass story. Both of the main event matches told. Look, because I consider that even though they had the Pat McAfee, I think that's the co-main event match. I'm not fucking counting Pat McAfee shit.
nah, well, nobody. I don't think anybody in here do. Nah, we all in agreement that
So
it was pointless.
so pointless. So like I think like as a co-main event in the main event, I think those were two of the best co-main event and main event. We're about to get to the main event in a second, but those are the two best co-main events and main events I've seen in a premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, in a long time.
Match was
Very long time.
fantastic. Definitely makes up for last year. From the Charlotte Ripley one. This definitely makes up from last year.
Yeah.
Steven, you got anything on it?
Yeah. I'll speak on it. I was just, I didn't want to interrupt. I was just letting y'all get y'all stuff off, bro. I thought it was match of the night easy, and honestly, I thought it was the perfectly built match, built in the match, not the build for the match. But because at the beginning it was very like, regular schmegular match, and I was like, okay, whatever. Then they kicked it into a second gear, and I'm like, okay, now we're getting into this. And then as soon as Rhea dumped Charlotte on her head or on her face off that German, then the match went to gear 3, bro. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, now we went from here to here to here. Now we on a completely different level. And it's funny because when I was talking about this earlier about the segments dragging the show out or whatever, because I had it in my mind that this show was going to end at 11. It was about 10:30 when this match started, and I'm like, there's no way we're about to get this match and the main event before 11. And I was like, okay, whatever. So when we got this match and it was a banger, my favorite match of the night easily, uh, I was like, okay, yeah, obviously this is not going off at 11. This joint went like 25 minutes or something. I'm like, okay, well, you know. But I don't agree that Asuka and Bianca can't match this match though, because I feel like Asuka and Charlotte are on the same level, and Rhea and Bianca are on the same level. So I don't really see why we can't expect this kind of quality with that match. And if anything, that match to me is going to be more appealing anyway, because those two I was more interested in seeing than these two. These two overcame the hurdle of me not even caring about this match while that match is already going to have the head start because I care about the wrestlers in it. So I feel like
I'm glad that you put it that way, though. See, I ain't gonna lie to you because me and Bryce was always talking about the bill to Bianca, Oscar. It's like how I would phrase it would how did I phrase it would was like, hey, you know, uh, Bianca and Oscar don't need that hard build I like Charlotte and Rhea, and you phrased it perfectly. I really like that when you was like they overcame the hurdle. See, Oscar and Bianca, it was no hurdle for me to overcome. I already want to see that match. Yeah, I wanted to see that match as soon as the Elimination Chamber came on. I can't wait to see Asuka and Bianca. That's all I was thinking about. But when it came down to Charlotte and Rhea, it was hard for me to even get myself to at first and like, all right, cool. It's all about Rhea. That's all I kept on saying to myself. Charlotte is here for one reason and one reason only to get Rhea over. That's it, and that's all. And that's all I was thinking about in my head. And I wasn't really thinking about the match, how fire the match would be, and this overcame my expectation of it. I'm like, oh, okay, this really was fire. And I'm kind of glad that you phrased it that way because now I can phrase my words a little bit better. Yeah, that was the reason why I was talking to you, Bryce, about that. I was already invested in Oscar and Bianca. It was nothing you could have just told me Oscar and Bianca go wrestle at WrestleMania. I'd be like, oh, plug me in. I can't wait to see that. You know,
Agree.
it, the bill for it, yeah, but it sucked. But at the same time, I still want to see it.
Yeah, I do believe it'll still be a dope match later on tonight. It's just like I said, the build just sucked to it. That's the only thing. And and like I said, as great as this match was, probably the best thing they, because this is a SmackDown Women's title, so it's probably one of the best things they've had in like the SmackDown's women division in a while. And remember,
In a
Rhea's on
while,
Raw, so Rhea has to be moving to SmackDown at this point now, because let's remember
that
she was
tell
on Raw.
that tell you the state of the women division in SmackDown. That just lets you know. I just wanted to throw that out there. That lets you know how bad the women division is over there in SmackDown.
'Cause Rousey at the time was champion, and that was not good. And the live train was being overhyped at the time. Like, there's a reason why
It's
they put
still
the belt
overhyped.
back.
It's
It
still
is.
overhyped.
Oh, it is. And there's a reason why they put the belt back on Charlotte back in December from Rousey. There's a big reason behind that.
So I wonder how she's gonna move through the Judgment Day situation. She's gonna be on SmackDown now.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. How
Possibly.
she
And
And she
another
did it
thing that I
clean.
noticed, yeah, and another thing I noticed was that, yeah, I was gonna say like the crowd was cheering for her like a face, and the celebration felt real facey too. Like it didn't feel like a heel celebration; it felt real facey. So
And
like, I wonder if there's maybe a face turn coming for at least Rhea.
well, it should, but because here's the thing. I was kind of afraid of that when she won the Royal Rumble, and I'm like, well, here's the thing. We gonna be cheering for Rhea. Like we want Rhea to win. We want her to become a star. So what? So how we gonna do this, WWE? And so they kind of was stubborn in their WWE ways. They were still trying to make Charlotte into a face a little bit. First few weeks. Then in the last couple of weeks, if you hear the promo that Charlotte cut, Charlotte not cutting a face promo. She was
Oh,
cutting a heel promo, especially that last one where she was like, I'm not ashamed of my heritage. I'm not ashamed of my, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that don't sound face at all. That sound very hellish. So I kind of think, they knew that we were going to be cheering for Rhea in the first place. So that just turned the Charlotte heel a little bit. Just, just turned it a little bit. But by the time we get to SmackDown this Friday night, Charlotte should be a heel all the way.
she's better as a heel. She's a natural heel. It's like it's not Charlotte face turn is never really that good. She's just a natural heel. So like we will definitely see what happens next for that. Next though, like I said, I'm gonna go through this really fast. And stuff. One, the whole Pat McAfee thing, and because it was like stuff that was just taking up time. Because I was at the point like get to the damn main event. Okay, like why are we sitting through? We got to get Miz and Snoop back out there, and then Snoop saying, hey man, you ought to be in a match right now, and like, well, I'm the host, and then they sent Pat, which usually Pat McAfee is over, but Pat was not really as over as he once was, like back at the Rumble. I personally think they need him back on commentary at this point because him and Cole are great on SmackDown. So yeah, and I also get a message from Steven. Basically, his thing is messing up, so he had to back out at this point. His stuff was breaking up. So overall, he said the main event was dope and that it was an 8.5 out of 10 show. So Steven had to dip out right now due to his connections on Skype thing.
For sure.
Okay, but overall, like this thing though, this didn't really need to happen. Like I said, I like Pat, but crowd definitely wasn't feeling Pat this time. And I know they brought George Kittle in to try to get a bigger reaction. This was just stalling time. That's all this really was. We didn't
Hey,
really need this. It was a buffer, and Pat won, but it didn't really mean much. And was this really necessary?
I wanted to say this with the with George Kittle. You know what I'm saying? We is at SoFi Stadium. It the home of the LA Rams.
Say that.
And so it's like I would kind of I would kind of confused. Like I know you want a big name star from the state of California because that's all it was, a big name star for the state of California. But you could have went a little better if you would have got somebody from the LA Rams to come in because that's where they at. That's their home right there, SoFi Stadium. You
They,
know, but at
yeah,
the same time, what you were saying?
I was saying they could have even hit up OBJ. He ain't got shit to do.
So it was like, yeah, he played for the Rams at one point and won the
Super
chip
Bowl
with
with him.
them.
Yeah.
And so it's like you could have got that, but I understood what your point was. I mean, I understood what their point was. Then we gonna get a big name star that's a huge wrestling fan because he is a huge wrestling fan. So it's like who excited to be there because we as wrestling fans we kind of know what people are excited to be there and people who not excited to be there. You know what I'm saying? So and we don't like the people who just phoning it in, and we like the people who really like to be there.
That's
So so I think that's really where they wanted to go towards, not the people who were just there for a payday. You know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, the pipe dream would have been to get Aaron Rodgers out there. You know, he always got the chance to get buzz. And he
that's
always
that's
talking to
true.
Pat McAfee.
Is- but the whole Pat McAfee thing was just hit or miss. It's like you said, I felt the same way, Bryce, with the when he came out there. I I didn't hear the pop. I didn't hear people going crazy like they usually are. I really think it's really, to be honest with you, like, going back into real life situation, his little situation with Brett Favre with the whole, back and forth, the legal allegations and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I think that has some type of merit to it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really has some type of what happened to his pop and what happened to his popularity. A little bit.
At the Rumble, they went crazy to see him again.
That would
When he
be
got
for
the
the
Rumble
that would be for everything. That would be
allegations
for
and
the
stuff.
steward. Yeah, that would be for all of that. I
What
think all of
allegations
that
we got
didn't
going?
happen. What you were saying, Gerard?
What allegations do we have going?
Hey, him and Brett Favre, see the situation with Brett Favre. I don't know if you remember what Brett Favre,
Yeah.
kind of did that thing with Mississippi.
Yeah.
That whole fraud thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
And so Pat was talking about it on his show. And I guess Brett Favre was trying to get some money or something, and try to say that Pat was trying to defame his name, basically, making his name seem all bad and stuff because the his case is not over yet. You know what I'm saying? So everything is still allegations at this point with Brett, even though people can see right through that. But everything is still allegation with Pat. I mean Brett. So when Pat was talking about it, he did mention allegations. So he did mention the allegation a lot. That's what made Pat win the case over Brett Favre because everybody went back and like, man, he did say allegations. He did, defame your name. He basically said what everything was happening, in real life in real life situations. So it ain't like he lying on you or anything like that. So that's what the whole thing with Pat and Brett is going through. And so I just thought that probably would be. I mean, that probably has something to do with it. I just throwing out suggestions, the reason why he didn't really get a big of a pop yesterday. But
Okay.
See, me personally, I would have popped harder because fuck the Packers. But yeah, it could be a reason.
Yeah, because he really did not get that reaction, and I don't think also people wanted to see him versus the Miz, and they just made it up on the fly, and Snoop's like, "Hey man, I just rap, man. I don't do this. You got this." And it went like I said, they just wanted to get the like you said, George Kittle getting the match, because he's a big fan. Because I forgot he did take that picture with Pentagon, a long time ago. I almost forgot about that. So this like literally was a buffer thing, but it wasn't really needed at the same time. Because like at that point, I was like, get to the damn main event. Because then when Lil Uzi Vert came on, and I'm like, we doing performances now too? Like, but I was like, get to the main event. Like, I like that song, that's what a rock, all that. But I'm like, get to the damn main event. And that's when the Usos came out then, and then they did the one thing with Uzi Vert because, like I said, now we are in the main event of the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. One thing I do want to say before this match, kind of with everyone, it's kind of crazy because if you remember last year with Mania, the Usos did kick off night one. If everybody remember, now they're in the main event. Even though they were still in a good spot, still they were still tag champions, but now they're in the main event. And Sami Zayn, who went from facing Johnny Knoxville in a joke match, and whatnot, now being like one of the biggest things in wrestling and whatnot, and becoming the main event. It's kind of crazy. Kevin Owens was already in the main event of WrestleMania last year. Like, come on, he fought Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he gets the main event WrestleMania 2 years in a row now. So it's kind of crazy just to see how where everybody is in this position of being in the main event. Cause so funny. Even last year, a little bit before that, I remember so many people online was like, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn need to go to AEW. I'm saying like Kevin Owens had just faced Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event of WrestleMania last year. What type of drugs are you on? Okay, and where all these guys are now, it's crazy. It's crazy to where they are, and this was one hell of a match to end this whole story off. This was a dope tag team match, and I remember Kyle telling me, he said like, it's weird but good to have this in the main event because come on, a tag team match is main event in WrestleMania. Like, really think about this. A tag team match. And like I said, the crowd went nuts for this. This was one hell of a match. You know the story of what's going on. Jay saying, like, I called you my brother, man. Like, you could have been us. Like, you could have been us. Slapping Sammy around. And then even in the end, when, Sammy's just hitting all those haluva kicks on him and just holding Jay saying, like, I trust you and whatnot. And, Owen stopping Jimmy doing the stunner and stuff. Like, it was one hell of an ending. Sammy, because people thought Sammy had his main event Mania already back at Elimination Chamber, but now he really is in the main event of WrestleMania for night one. So this was one hell of a match to end off the show and well deserved of being the main event of night one and the right team going over right here. Basically, as we are watching the crippling of the bloodline, which is about to fall, especially by tonight.
Man, that bro, it's gonna be so good. I think night two has a chance to be better than night one for us.
It's gonna be
I
hard to
think so.
top.
I think so too. I said it
Like
when I saw the card really, and when I
yeah,
saw
for
the
sure.
card, yeah, like I think back, I think night two gonna have a similar pace to night one, but at the same time, it's still going to be better than night one. Yeah, they're gonna still go back a similar pace. I think they should just go throw Brock and Omos out there first,
Yes.
but and go about it how you did night one, and just everything else fall to place. But going back to this main event, I I really liked it, but it was like I only liked it because I knew what was going to happen at the end. It was really one of those matches that they did a lot, a lot of spots in this match, and then that I could have did without. That put it like that, but I wouldn't say the match was bad or anything. It was good, but it served its purpose. It was we broke part of the bloodline, broke part of the bloodline off, and we are crowning a new champions. It's these guys who was the heroes of the storyline. So it was like, all right, cool. It did what it did. But if you X the storyline away and said just gave me the match, it was an okay match. It was an okay to good match to me. It wasn't spectacular. It was an okay to good match. It just did it did what it was supposed to do.
Man, I agree. I
I would say if you took the storyline out of it, I still thought it was a very good tag match. But if it wasn't for the storyline and investment in it, especially with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, especially those two, it wouldn't have been on the level it has been. Because like I said, Jey Uso has broken out and being something bigger than just being a tag team guy, and Sammy just comes off as a great natural face and whatnot.
he
Especially
does.
with those two, that's what really had the crowd super invested. In a way, I almost thought they was gonna have, and maybe we will get Jason. I feel like Jay still will get involved in the main event somehow. But even I thought he may have would have cost the tag titles because I feel like, and I told Gerard this yesterday, I feel like he's a double agent in a way.
Man, expect everything that you just said. Expect that by tenfold in this main event. Look, boy, you better expect all the run-ins,
Oh, expect the
all the
shenanigans.
Literally, yes.
distractions,
We gonna have
all the
Heyman,
ref bumps,
Solo.
all of it.
Literally, yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. Like this, if you think this bloodline shit ended last night, and it's just gonna be Roman versus Cody, is shit. It's
You're
not
ready
over.
for something crazy to end
Very
tonight. It's
far
gonna be
from
a
over,
crazy thing. It's gonna be some. It's gonna be a lot of shenanigans.
man.
So expect
I feel like
overbooking.
true. I feel like it. I put it to you like this. I feel like it's very far from over, but it ends tonight.
Mhm.
that, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna end. So, but yeah, expect a lot of shenanigans. But overall, I thought this was a great ending. But like I said, it's still going into tonight. So it was still a really good main event at the end of the day, and it was well deserved of going in there. Especially like I said, the story and how it's like the biggest story in wrestling right now. So we know
Yeah,
how people are so really into it and stuff. So that's how I would that's how I look at it.
yeah. I mean, it was this whole night was this whole night was good. I like, man, to end it with the new tag team champions, to end it with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, that should give a lot of people who still in the independent scene right now. That should give a lot of people that type of hope. You know what I'm saying? That could be you. You know, like all the people, because these guys are straight independent guys. You know, of course they've been in the WWE for about to be a decade. You know what I'm saying?
They've been there since like 2015, I believe. I know Kevin got there in 2015. I think they both been there since 2015.
And so it's close. It close to over a decade since they've been there. But where they came from, you know what I'm saying, is straight independence. So it's like they should give a lot of guys hope who in that scene who are at least good. You know what I'm saying, and give them hope. Like, man, we try hard and keep on pushing and keep on pushing. We can actually be something
Yep.
because who would have thought this would have ever happened? You know what I'm saying? For Sami Zayn, but especially Sami Zayn, who would have thought that? You know?
Because Kevin Owens always felt like the bigger star than him. Like I've said that for a long time. Like, come on, Kevin Owens, he's been the world champion. He's been the world champion before. So he's always been in somewhat of that top spot. It's like I said earlier, he main evented WrestleMania last year against Stone Cold Steve Austin. So nobody would have thought Sammy would have gotten into this type of position because even before,
Especially coming from WrestleMania last year where he
yep,
had a match with Sibo. So it was like,
Johnny Knoxville.
I mean, not Johnny. About saying Sibo, Johnny Knoxville. You coming from that type of match right there to now it's night and day. You know,
Because before he was Fidel Castro out almost there every week. He looked like Fidel Castro, but
Hilarious.
um, now like the whole bloodline, the Sammy Uso, Usi, and all that stuff, and he basically now just became a man of the people.
True, basically.
So yeah, that is crazy to see how a year can change that for everyone, especially in this whole bloodline thing. Because like I said, overall, I thought night one was great. The only weakest thing I thought on the show was the Cena and Theory stuff. Everything after that was literally either good or great. The tag team Fatal Four Way, I thought that was really good. Yeah, I know it didn't mean much going into it, but it was crazy, fun, and chaotic, and I had fun watching it. Seth and Logan, hell of a match, really good. Ray and Dominic, other than the Cinnamon Toast Crunch thing involved in that, still one hell of a match, and it was still really good, and finally completed the story and whatnot of how people were invested into that. Rhea and Charlotte, match of the damn night. Yeah, like I said, we're not going to count the Pat McAfee Miz stuff. I know it was a buffer, so let's not count that much. And the main event was really good. So overall, night one was very successful. Other than the beginning, it was successful, and I'm sure
yeah.
night two will do that later on tonight. So I do believe still they have a lot to top, but I think it's going to go out well. I do believe that. So we're going to see what happens later on tonight.
For sure.
For sure.
Any wild predictions or hot takes about tonight?
There's only like
Um,
6 matches.
well, I wouldn't say all these predictions, all my predictions is not. I wouldn't say wow or hot takes or anything. It's picked by numbers. Oscar gonna win. What else? Cody gonna win. um, well,
Brock.
uh, well, that's my smoke break match. But I
Uh,
don't know. I don't know, and I don't care.
uh,
It's one of those situations that like, okay, whatever. Brock wins.
Yeah.
Okay, there we
Well,
go. Brock
see,
wins.
some say it's better than working with Wyatt.
I know, but still, it's just still, I don't care. It's one of those type of matches.
Uh,
Um,
who
what
else?
else? Finn.
Uh,
I think Finn Balor wins.
really? You don't think Ed finally gets the payback because he's been fighting these guys forever?
I mean, he should. I mean, in storyline, he should. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, but if I do throw out a hot take, it would be that. That would be my hot take. It'll
And
be
this is
Finn Balor
demon.
winning.
This is Demon Finn Balor. The demon
Yeah.
is.
yeah, but
So yeah,
good edge apparently.
Yeah, and I
I,
keep hearing tonight, and I don't know how true this is because I kept hearing Christian's supposed to be there. The Brood is
I
supposed to.
highly doubt it. I highly doubt Christian gonna be there, but if Gangrel, I would bad seeing him. I would like, all right, Gangrel, come out there, spit the mess out. You know, bring
And
me
if
back to
Tony,
my childhood for a little while.
and I don't know if Tony is gonna let Christian go over there, Tony. So we
You
don't
know,
know that.
we also don't know his contract situation. What if he's a free agent like John Moxley was?
Oh shit.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is he?
No,
Nah, he's
no,
still
no.
under contract with AEW. I
Oh,
know.
I'm
I know
about to
he was
say.
at the C. I knew he was at the C2E2 thing this weekend for Friday and Saturday. I know that he was there, so that I do know. But I'm trying to say, what else other match they got tonight? We named about 4. It's only like 6
Ooh,
matches.
ooh.
Who are we forgetting?
So,
I
which one
purposely
was
forgot this one. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the women. I purposely forgot
Oh,
that.
oh, yeah.
uh,
It was one of those situations like it's like, do we any of us care who wins? You know.
Now I will give it a shot because that's kind like I was excited for the men's fatal 4-way tag match. But I'll give it a shot. But that's my smoke break match for real. But I'll be in the crib.
That's yours.
I'll be in
yeah,
the crib for my smoke breaks anyway, so I'll still give it a watch. You know.
and also we got the triple threat intercontinental title match
Oh,
between
yeah, forgot about that one. That's
Drew,
gonna be a banger.
Sheamus,
Oh
Walter.
That's gonna be a
yeah.
banger.
See,
That's
That's
gonna
gonna
be a
be a
one.
big.
night two about to be crazy, yo.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger right there.
That
That
I
triple
want to
threat.
About to
see
be crazy.
bigger
Yeah,
after
fuck.
bigger after
I
bigger
forgot about that.
after
Yeah, I forgot
bigger.
about that.
So yeah, night 2 is the card is still pretty good tonight. So let's see if
Yo,
it
and let's
next
not
week.
forget, this was my wild hot take. Either during the Edge match or the Cody Rhodes match, which I hope is the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton will be making his return to the WWE tonight. That's my hot take. Either
Mm,
either after Edge beats Finn Balor and he needs another feud, which I'm cool with another Edge Randy feud since Randy is back now. Or my personal, which I gotta shout out Pliant Productions because I was watching his shit. He was talking about Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns and then Randy Orton coming in basically to son Cody Rhodes, his former protege. And it's like, damn, that shit. Now that would be good. Randy Orton coming back as a heel, that would be good.
I could see that. Some people think, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I know they kept saying, "Well, Lashley's gonna call somebody out." Um, Maybe I don't know. I do feel bad for Lashley. They didn't even get a WrestleMania match. I know you won the Andre thing and stuff, but that Bray Wyatt shit went to the damn toilet as it was going, and we saw how bad that looked. So I think they knew that match was gonna suck anyway. So I don't know if something happens with that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
So
Look,
yeah,
this what I would like Bobby Lashley to do. I would like for him to do if we gonna give a just a random segment like we did with Pat McAfee yesterday, I think we should give one to Bobby tomorrow. I mean tonight because I really like Bryce said. I really feel bad for Bobby in this situation. Real talk,
Yeah.
because he was hot and he was still people were still behind him and they was trying to find something for him, but it just didn't work out. So I do feel bad for him. And I do think he needs to, if we go have the Miz get beat up again, have him beat up the Miz again. Why not? Just to have Bobby out there.
Seriously, because like I felt bad for like the post match interview. He was just like, "I'm so happy that I won the Andre the Giant chant." Like he was so sad.
Right. He was
yeah,
He was like, "I'm
right.
so happy. I'm
he deserved better. He
so
deserved
happy."
better.
You
So,
right. He deserves so much better than
so yeah,
having to win a battle royal that nobody really too much cares about. He deserved better than that.
Man,
yeah, that's true. But yeah, overall though, like I said, if I had to grade this show, I damn near give it an A for night 1.
yeah, I'm giving it an A.
I give it an A.
I'm giving
I
it
give
an
it
A.
an A. Yeah.
So other than that though, yeah, comment, subscribe, hit the like button out there, turn on those notifications, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Do you guys have anything to plug?
Not right now.
No. Just follow me at straight face 40 on Twitter, and that's yeah. That's
Yeah,
about it.
And
yeah, night
you
night.
cannot follow me on Twitter because I don't be on that shit.
But Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know how this night 2 review gonna work. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out because I know a lot of people ain't gonna have time tomorrow to do it, and I know a lot of people don't want to do it literally right after the show happens. That depends if everybody has the energy for it, but still trying to figure that out right now.
I'll let you know throughout the night. Yeah, as we text it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna definitely let you know throughout the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it my fucking goal to actually not fall asleep tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens then. But other than that, we out of here. This is the night 1 WrestleMania review, and we'll see what happens later tonight for night 2. So out of here. See y'all then.